Hey ladies, it's episode 146 of the podcast. I'm excited to dive in and talk about what I believe are 3 benefits of intuitive eating that you might not hear about, we're not talking about enough, but definitely exist. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Health, Life, and More for Women podcast. This is a podcast for women who are ready to ditch diets, ditch the scale, and food guilt forever, and instead invite peace with food, body trust, and confidence in all of your choices. This show will shed some light on sneaky ways diet culture has infiltrated your thoughts, your family, and your well-being. I believe that no matter the episode, you'll walk away feeling informed, inspired, and encouraged. I'm your host, Jennifer D'Amato. I'm a certified intuitive eating counselor, coach, a mom of 4 daughters, a lover of all things pink, and I can't wait to dive into each and every episode with you. Let's dive in now. You might already know that intuitive eaters have a higher intraceptive awareness. You might not use that term, but you might understand the concept. So intraceptive awareness is one's ability to perceive physical sensations that arise from within your body. You know, it's not surprising that intuitive eaters have this great sense of the feelings and signals of hunger, fullness, satisfaction. I mean, it doesn't happen right away, but over time, intuitive eaters become not only more aware of what their body is telling them, but they trust what it says. So that's that intraceptive awareness. You know, again, this is a huge benefit of intuitive eating, and it is like amazing. And honestly, for me, it was enough. It was enough to say, I want to dive in to implementing the 10 principles. I mean, I wanted to fully trust my own body. I mean, I spent the majority of my life not trusting my body. But there are other benefits that might not be as well known, and I want to highlight 3 here for you. Now, there's a lot. There's so many, and there's personal ones that people share all the time, but I'm limiting it to 3 so that we're not on the podcast here for the next hour and a half. Now, before I do that, I want to share something really important. This is the last week to enroll in my fall 2022 group coaching program. Let me share a few things that are possible for you if you enroll. What if you had significantly less or no food guilt at all by the time we hit November when our group coaching wraps up? What's also possible is increased confidence that you're eating when you are hungry, stopping when you feel full, and you're prioritizing satisfaction. What's also possible by November, we're done before Thanksgiving gets here. And what's possible is you're no longer relying on food when your emotions are high. Talk about emotions being high. I mean, the holiday season will be here before we know it. Emotions can be really high. And you will have so many strategies and tools and ways to cope with those emotions that really can be fueled by the holiday season. I believe you're also going to feel mentally and emotionally prepared for any health-related appointment. You're going to be more peaceful during this holiday season around food and maybe even around those family members that have been really triggering when it comes to food and body talk. I believe what's also possible is that you'll be consistently incorporating self-care in a variety of ways. And what might be the best thing for you is that by November, diets will no longer have this hold on you. And if you are a mama, that those diets, that diet language, talk, negative body talk, all of those things, you'll feel so much better that you're not passing that on to your family. Now, of course, you get even more than all of those things with group coaching. You get support, encouragement, all these tools, strategies from me each and every week. I'm someone who's walked this journey. I'm someone who understands the struggles. I celebrate every single win. I'm someone who's going to exemplify and help you increase self-compassion. I'm someone who walks alongside you every step of this journey and beyond. So, what do you do next? Anywhere you're listening to this podcast episode, head into the show notes and click Enroll in Group Coaching. Honestly, it is that simple. If you want to, you can head to my website, www.healthcoach4life.com/group coaching, and it'll take you to the same place to enroll now. All right, let's talk about those 3 benefits of intuitive eating that you might not know and you'll most likely experience if you decide to enroll in group coaching and work with me this fall. You might be wondering where these benefits come from. The 3 benefits that I'm going to share are all research-based findings. They're actually from a meta-analysis review. Okay, you're going to learn something else here, maybe if you haven't heard that term before. What that means is these are not results from a singular study. A meta-analysis in the research world is so much more valuable because it takes into account many studies to validate results. That's why even when I talk about dieting and, diets give you this research, they literally almost always are giving you a singular study. And that study is usually a very short-term study, a year or less, 2 years or less. These are not long-term studies. But back to this meta-analysis. So in this instance, the benefits I'm sharing come from a meta-analysis of 24 studies. They were published between 2006 and 2015. Now, this first one out of the 3 is probably my favorite. Intuitive eating is associated with greater body appreciation and satisfaction. Intuitive eaters show their body respect. They can experience true gratitude for their body. They can show their body kindness and compassion. They can be satisfied with their size, shape, curves, lines, rolls, stretch marks. And none of this is dependent on their weight changing or, hear this one, on what others think about their body. I know I thought this was an impossible way to think about my body. I honestly believed that the only way for me to appreciate my body and be satisfied with it was if I was thinner, smaller, quieter, smoother, smaller. Did I say smaller twice? Yeah, you can tell how ingrained that was. Learning to respect and appreciate my body as it is took time, but it did include the work of honoring my hunger, my fullness, prioritizing satisfaction to build trust. I did have to stop working out altogether to work on redefining movement in my life. After that, too, became completely disordered. Body appreciation and satisfaction, amazing benefit of intuitive eating. Related to the first benefit is the second benefit I want to share. Intuitive eaters are associated with greater motivation to exercise. What was reported is that this was mostly due to shifting the focus from guilt and appearance to enjoyment and pleasure. Not everyone needs a complete reset with exercise like I did. I did a full stop. It went on weeks, months, I don't even know. It feels like a blur at this point. I actually went from obsessively working out to not even wanting to work out at all. What intuitive eaters learn is that all movement counts, and if you enjoy it, it is so much easier to want to move. It's wrapped up in feeling grateful that you can move your body and showing it respect by moving it when it feels good. I know that I'm living in this space because it's hard not to find me smiling when I'm formally working out. I am feeling grateful. I am, in that space of look what my body can do. I know I'm living out this benefit because honestly, it's hard to find me in the gym doing a workout, lifting weights, doing that without a smile on my face. I also feel so content knowing I move throughout my day and that movement, like getting up from my desk, from working with clients, from recording, sitting here, that movement is just as important, if not more, than that 30 or 45 minutes of lifting weights. Now, there's several other benefits, like I said. I'm sharing 3 here, and the last one is a big one. Are you ready for it? I wish I had drum roll sound effects sometimes on this podcast. All right, here it is. Number 3, intuitive eaters are associated with greater life satisfaction. Now, my sassy side says that we are all experiencing greater life satisfaction just because we are no longer dieting and we're finally eating for what our body needs and wants. And yes, I do believe that's part of it, but I believe intuitive eaters have greater life satisfaction because satisfaction is literally the core of all of the intuitive eating principles. Increasing satisfaction and pleasure comes from knowing you honored what your body needed and wanted. It comes from setting boundaries in your life. It comes from removing negativity. It comes from movement, releasing those endorphins. It comes from increasing self-care. It comes from setting yourself and your overall health and well-being as a priority. Yes, I would say intuitive eaters have greater life satisfaction. I have said it many times over this past year. I am the heaviest and happiest I've ever been in my adult life. No longer chasing the thin ideal or what the BMI says my weight should be for my height. It is more satisfying to eat foods that I love. Real pasta, sandwiches, whole eggs, salads with dressing, and here it is, croutons. Yes. Like I said, there are many other benefits and ones that I know my clients have shared that are personal to them and their story. Some include the benefits their children or grandchildren get to experience. Some are about healing past stories and messages that they've heard. There are so many benefits to walking away from dieting and that constant pursuit of weight loss. Like I said earlier, if you want to start that journey and experience these benefits, this is the last week to enroll in my fall 2022 group coaching. It's the last group coaching I'm offering for this year. Don't miss out. Head into the show notes wherever you're listening, click to enroll, or head to www.healthcoachforlife.com/group coaching. I'm looking forward to supporting you on your intuitive eating journey. And I'm looking forward to each and every listener enjoying every single benefit that intuitive eating has to offer. All right, ladies, until next week.